Hey everyone, big announcement took place earlier this week and it was all about HRM releasing four new special planning areas. Now we've covered in the past about these special planning areas that were released, I want to say like a year and a half ago, maybe even potentially 2 years ago, when HRM decided that the whole process about actually getting planning, permits, bylaws, zoning changes, all of that wonderful amounts of red tape that is involved in getting a area deemed to be ready for development just takes too long. So they said, fine, let's shortcut that. Let's deem these special planning areas and let's just basically give them what they need to get going. Shortcut the whole process, rubber stamp it, off you go. So a lot of those projects are actually starting to basically get built now. So not what we call shovel ready, which is ground is cleared and we're ready to put shovels in the ground, but actually shovels in the ground, houses being built. Biggest one of these is just off the circumferential highway at that kind of Russell Lake junction on the right hand side, kind of behind Woodside. That's the one that I see quite a lot and I'm passing that sticks out in my mind that this has actually been done. I think it might have been called like Mount Hope Southdale, something like that. But that's the first one. Now, with these four other residential zoning special planning areas, we'll show you the maps of them as well as where they are, and I'll kind of talk you through. But the biggest question I'm asking, and is going to be very interesting, is are they going to be affordable? Does it make sense then for buyers to actually look at these areas and actually be able to buy something in that area that's going to be affordable? Our average price right now in Halifax is $614,000 as at the end of July. Give yourself a 10%, maybe even a 15% down payment. If you can save that money up, that's roughly like $90,000. That would give you a mortgage of just under $3,000 a month. That's not cheap. Now let's add in factors like property taxes and deed transfer tax, and you can see that the cost of actually being a first-time home buyer here in Halifax is kind of getting up there a bit. There are definitely new construction areas up in Elmsdale. That new Kiln Creek area is definitely come on stream. Properties up there aren't hugely expensive, he says, for new construction. Like, just under 500,000. I think 490 and 499 were two of the ones that I saw up there for brand new townhouse, 3-story, 3-bedroomed, 2.5 full baths. Kind of gives you an idea. But let's get into what we want to talk about, which is these special planning areas. So the first one is Westfall in Dartmouth. Now that area is basically when you get to the end of Cole Harbour Road and it becomes like, if you can turn left, Cole Harbour Road carries on to Lawrencetown, but you can turn left and there's a road there called Ritzy Crescent. There's a whole area there that is slated for 18,000 residential units, plus also another 144 long-term care. Now, that's obviously going to be a lot of units in that area. And as you say, it's going to be shovel ready by spring 2025. So that's area number one. Area number two, then we're talking about Cole Harbour Road. There's going to be 511 residential units, 144 again, long-term care facility, and that's going to be shovel ready again, spring 2025. Now that one, if you look at it on the map, it's basically Cole Harbour Road and Bissett Road. So again, not that far from what they were just talking about for the Westfall Urban Reserve lands, kind of like it's just before that, and there's a whole area there. The third one then is going to be in Paper Mill Lake in Bedford, and that Paper Mill, again, you'll see the map show up now, is at the top of Moyers Mill Road and below the 102 highway. And Paper Mill Lake is actually kind of Hammonds Plains Road and Moyers Mill, but it's obviously going to be on the other side of that. Now that area is slated for 4,714 units, 214 of them in phase one, and that's actually going to be shovel ready in fall 2024. That's like 2 months. So a lot of that area, in theory, you're thinking has already been cleared if it's going to be shovel ready. Now the last one, this is the one in Fall River Road, my neck of the woods. This has been going on for a long time. This is the Carr Farm development, if you kind of know that basic description. 316 units, 144 long-term care facility units, and they're talking shovel ready again, spring 2025. So 3 of these are spring 2025. Looking at these, this is 23,000 residential units, 380 long-term care rooms as well. So it's a huge amount of extra development that's going to take place. Now, the big issue with the Fall River Road one is it's city water. So we do get city water coming down Fall River Road, but it's going to be on a septic system. And that's going to be a huge bone of contention, because they're basically suggesting that the sewage system is going to treat something like 316 units plus another 144 long-term care facility units. Let's call it roughly, what would that be, 460-ish units. That's a lot of sewage to treat from a big buildings. And where's it going to go? There is a lot of talk about how they're going to actually get this treated. Is the flow going to go off into Lake Thomas? A whole range of things. But those are the big four areas: 23,000 units, 380 long-term care facility units coming into those four areas that we showed you on the maps as well. We'll put a link down in the description below as well, so you can actually go and kind of get into more detail, and you can also go back and see the other special planning areas as well that have been planned by HRM. But big question, is it going to be affordable? That's kind of one of our major concerns with everything right now, is the affordability of housing. For a lot of my clients who are obviously in that kind of first-time home buyer market, that's going to be a bit of a struggle. So is it going to change anything? That's the big question. It's a lot of units, that's for sure. So we'll stay tuned and we'll keep you updated as things develop. But certainly click on the link, check out the descriptions for all of those links as well to other information about the special planning areas and what's going on.